Let me start off the video by doing this. I used to literally break down a few months ago when I would look at myself from the side because of my nose. And it's just so ridiculous to me right now. I don't even believe what I was thinking. Hello, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to talk about how I got over my humped nose insecurity. Up till a few months ago, I used to be pretty insecure of my nose and in general of my face. I think it got a lot worse during COVID because I got used to wearing a mask and I got used to being able to hide my face, and I got comfortable with that. And then just showing my face, it became so difficult for me because if I had the choice between hiding myself and showing myself, I would choose to hide myself and protect myself from the gaze of others. And I think going even deeper into the reason why I wanted to cover my face and why I was insecure was rooted in this idea that I needed to look a certain way, that I needed to fit this standard, that I wasn't meeting this own subconscious expectation that I had of myself. While this expectation that I had of myself would never be fulfilled. Because I was trying to look like something that I literally am not. Honestly, I'm so sick of hearing this phrase that, like, I'm not good enough. That is like so last year. I've been hearing that phrase coming out of like the mouths of teenage girls for so many years. And I'm just 17. Like, come on. We need to move out of this phase. Like, what does good enough even mean? What does it even mean? Like, what is enough? What is good? Like, we're all good. There's nothing such as bad. There's nothing such as bad. There's nothing such as good. The way that we look is just the way that we look. Like, why is the color blue so blue? That's like what we're asking ourselves. And it's pointless. So many times we're caught up in seeing the flaws that we don't see that the flaws are so amazing. I read this quote somewhere that someone said that imperfections are so amazing because they're showing that as a human, you've lived. The fact that you have scars, the fact that your skin is maybe a touch red, a touch darkened, a touch sunburned, whatever it is, maybe you have freckles or you have moles or anything, it means that you're living. It means that you're not a doll in a plastic package. And when you start appreciating the imperfections and the flaws and everything that doesn't look like this AI generated picture, then it's so easy to see everything around you as just beautiful. Another aspect of my insecurity was how I would be perceived by others. And this is a concept that touches not only my looks, but also my personality, how I communicate with others, and, just basically how I interact with the world. Because everything that I do is going to add to how I am perceived by others. I was also always caught up, always, every single second that I was in public, I was always thinking about how I'm being perceived by others. I was literally in a guessing game, and I was trying to control how I was being perceived by others. And this is pointless. It was so draining for me. It was draining my energy. It was all I was thinking about. And this is pointless. It's like a black hole. It was consuming my thoughts. I was overthinking so much. If I said a word weirdly, if I sat weirdly, if I made an expression that I think might have looked weird on my face, I would be thinking about that. This is pointless. If you have that same habit, you need to get out of this habit. There's no point in trying to play this game of what am I being perceived as? The idea that helped me overcome this extreme self-consciousness is that I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live in fear of myself and my actions, and I don't want to restrict myself so much. I don't want to always cover up my face. I don't want to always hide what I'm saying. I don't want to always hide my expressions. I don't want to always be perfect. I don't, because I want to live. I want to experience life. I want to have experiences. One of the reasons why I was so self-conscious was that, to be quite honest, I wanted to be liked. I wanted to fit in with others, or I just wanted to be more connected with others. And I thought that if I would restrict myself, try to fit in, try to be like them, then I would be closer to other people. Then I would be able to talk to them, I would be able to connect with them. And this was not the case. Being so self-conscious, going to the bathroom to check myself in the mirror like 50 times a day, that was not helping. That was not making me be more liked. I was barely talking to people. I was so self-conscious. I would barely talk to people. I was even embarrassed that I would be alone in a class, that I would have no friends in a class. I didn't have people that I knew. But it was because I was being so self-conscious. It's kind of like a paradox. I was trying to be liked, but the things that I was trying to do to be liked were the things that were preventing me from being social and making friends. And long story short, this realization that I made is that even if I attract people who like me, while I was being so self-conscious and restricting myself so much, I don't want those kind of people around me. If I anyways don't want those kind of people around me that are going to judge me for my looks, that are only gonna like me if I look a certain way, why am I doing this? By being myself, I am putting out the message. I am attracting people that actually like me and that are actually friends with me, that are interacting with me, not because of my looks, not because of plainly because of what I look like, because of what I act like when I'm restricting myself. By being my authentic self, by not trying to be completely perfect, I'm attracting the people that don't care that I look perfect all the time, that don't judge me for my looks. Once I realized this idea, I completely dropped the act. I stopped constantly having this mental picture of my mind of, when I'm sitting, this is what I look like. Oh, don't open your mouth, don't show your teeth, don't do this, don't, like, I just completely dropped the act. I was like, this is ridiculous. You're going against yourself. You want friends that value you for who you are. So why are you turning yourself into something that you're not? Once you realize this, it becomes so easy to just drop the act, to just be natural. Another root cause of my mindset was that I had a pretty low self-esteem. And because of this low self-esteem, I used to put other people on a pedestal. I used to look up to other people when they weren't even, all they could do was like, they could talk to anybody. They would not be scared to like converse with others. I would literally put everybody around me up on a pedestal. One of the big reasons that I did this was, I think it was just the environment in high school. Because when I came to college, all of that dropped. In high school, it was so important to have friends, to be in your own social circle. It was so odd to be by yourself. I had friends. I never really got along with them. I found it so odd to be alone. I would literally go to the library and study instead of eating lunch because I could not bear being alone and just sitting somewhere alone at lunch. I could not do that. It was so difficult for me. It was so difficult for me to be alone and to allow others to see that I am not clung to somebody. In high school, people always, clung onto somebody. They're like, people would literally link their arms with their friends. People would be attached to each other. And even though it's just been a month, since I started college. The environment in college is so different. Almost everybody in college is alone. They don't have a friend by them 24/7. They don't have this immaturity. Anyways, as I was saying, this was one main difference that I noticed between myself and other people, that I was a lot more in solitude than them. Who knows if they actually felt alone, if the connections that they had with their friends were real. I don't know much about that. But because I saw myself as different from other people, I started seeing like myself on this level and them on this level. And that's all an illusion. Because at the end of the day, what are we? We are collections of matter, collections of atoms and cells with brains that can create thoughts and have emotions. Being away from high school has just put things into so much perspective. If I were to look at somebody else and see that they're alone or see that they look like me or anything like that, I would not think that they're, weird, they're less than anybody else, because that's just disrespectful. So, why would I think the same about myself? That's disrespecting myself. And if there's anybody in this whole entire world that I would not want to disrespect, that's myself. It's so important to see yourself on the same level as everybody else. No matter what the age is, no matter how much experience or knowledge or achievements or anything that everybody has, at the end of the day, what are we? We're all souls. We're all souls. And none of this is even gonna matter. It's just been a few months since I ended high school, and those tiny problems that seem so big to me, they're all gone. I'm not even scared of not wearing a mask anymore. So, I think another thing that helped me overcome this insecurity is just being distant from it. Sometimes it's just about laughing at the situation. Like, how ridiculous is it that I was afraid to show my face? This face that literally allows me to taste, to breathe, to smile, to talk. It's time to start being grateful for things and to not get caught up in little flaws. It's important to be optimistic and to always be positive. At the end of the day, that's pretty much what changed. I just started being optimistic, I started being positive, and I started looking at the bigger picture. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!